Alright, welcome back to Oshi no Ko, episodes 2 and 3. This is a timer-based reaction on YouTube, so you gotta have your own copy of the episodes and sync it up with the timer once it hits 0. Or alternatively, there is a picture-in-picture version in the description below. So, without any further ado, let's jump into the reaction. Countdown starts now. I have seen the music video for this song, by the way, so I didn't record a reaction to it. The visuals for this opening is pretty good. Like, you can definitely feel like what it's trying to do, right? The like the overwhelming feeling of being in that stage of that is like filled with lies and performing to a mass audience who just, who follows you, whoever you are, right? That's a lot of yep. Ruby wants to follow the footsteps of her mother. Yeah. I do have some thoughts about the reincarnation thing, and I will discuss it in this episode discussion. It's the thought of, is the reincarnation thing justified within the grand scheme of the story or not? You gotta keep your priorities. True. It is interesting, right? Because you would expect after seeing what their mom went through that they would have second thoughts of, or at least for Ruby, right? Second thoughts of becoming an idol. But it's the fact of like how powerful her mother is in terms of facing it all, right? It's worthy of admiration. And she wants to be like her. Hmm? Ah. If you could. Yeah. She inspired so many of them, right? Surprised that they are using the Hoshino name. She didn't get in? Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess Hoshino is a kind of a common name, I suppose, or, no one would think twice about making connections. Hmm. They also seem like Foam Club, Truck Driver. Okay, I love some of these references. Taxi Driver, right? But they don't seem to be doing great themselves as well. Hmm. Overly protective brother. Yeah, he knows. Hmm. The darkness in his eyes. Yep. So how long until we learn that the cycle of revenge and violence is a bad thing to pursue in this story? Hmm. Girl, just become a VTuber. That's a joke, but I feel like that's the way to go nowadays. Hmm. Hey, you gotta respect her optimism, right? That liveliness. Very in tune with just like her mother, right? Hey, it's the screen in Tokyo where it. I like his hairstyle though. Yep. Both of their expressions. But this could be interesting though. Rebuilding Strawberry Productions to its like former glory to honor their mother's, legacy. Hmm. Could this girl that she's talking about somebody that we know? The girl with the red hair, maybe in the beginning of episode one, whose name is whose name that I forgot. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of factors too. Hmm. Ah. Yeah. That again, very admirable. Ah. Enjoy. Yep. Hmm. All right. All right. I suppose this is the main storyline for the show, and then finding out, the murderer and all will be like the subplot for it. For the time being, of course. That's his mother. Love the way he's sitting. Hmm. Work behind the scenes. Very fitting to both of their characters. Yeah, that's the true goal. Hmm. All right, let's hear it. Relatable. I love it. I love it. The old director who's still living with his mom. I love it. She's still interrupting him. Justifying himself. Like, hmm. Okay, it's getting old. I just realized something. I don't think does the director know? I don't think the director knows about their relationship, right? I and her children. Pretty sure it's kept a secret up to this point, and the only one who knows are the managers. Unless I'm forgetting something. Aquamarine being the talented of the two, which is a good balance between them, intellectually speaking. There she is. What a coincidence. She's in the same school. Kana. Hmm. The difference in their in her that kind of flew by really fast though. The episode and ended abruptly. But the idea that Aquamarine's presence again, just like I, right, kind of influenced Kana's need to be to be more right. She looked at Aqua in the past and she was like kind of jealous about it. But jealousy sometimes can be good, right? Because jealousy can lead to um a person wanting to be better than themselves, right? To one up another person, right? Competition is good, is what I'm trying to say. Ending animation is pretty good. Is she in the same hospital? Or where is she in this shot? Hmm. No preview? No end credits? Nothing? Okay. Alright, we're on to episode 2. Once again, timer-based version, PIP version in the description below. Countdown starts now. Oh, yes, she does. Yes, he does. Well, not a sister complex, but very overly protective of her. But for obvious reasons, right? I love her expressions. Yeah, very clingy of her. But again, kind of goes to show like how much she has changed, right, from when we last met her. That little disappointment from her, learning that he's not really acting anymore. Whoa! We're getting a bit ahead of ourselves here. Calm down. Oh my god. Yeah. Ouch. Yeah. Hmm. Oh, that gave a little bit of a reaction from him. Ouch. Hmm. Oh. Yeah. Oh yeah, just rubbing it in, just rubbing it in, yeah. But of course, as we know, there's a lie behind the truth. Hmm. Nah, he's gonna deny it. Yeah. Ah. Love how giddy she is. Wait, was couple? Mm. Okay, okay. And here's the mystery aspect of it. And this person was one of the contacts? Well, I guess not, considering he never actually opened the phone, as it seems. Man, he's keeping track. I do love that it took him like a long time to open. Okay, okay. A potential suspect for him. No, 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 don't. He's no. She's having the wrong idea. Yeah. I'm still thinking that the potential father is actually, a person with blonde hair, just like them. Hmm. I wonder if playing a villain will, you know, incite some trauma. Meanwhile, oh, that's just an act. I thought that was like her actually feeling, depressed. Doesn't mean that she's not, as we know. There's a lot behind the mask. Yeah, yeah. That. But yeah, such is the problems of production these days. Yep. Like I said in episode 1, right? Like, I love that the show is also focusing a lot on this side of the production, like the production of, of like a TV show, not just the idol business. Hey, but they're going for the karaoke place. Hmm. Right, right. Trying to find that balance. Trying to lower her quality acting with, so that they are the same level. And it would be a problem, like, if she, yeah, if she gave it her all. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's a dilemma, all right. True. Hmm. Oh, that look. Yeah. Ooh. Hmm. Mm-hmm. And now she has change. Right. Hmm. This is good. Yep. Yeah. She still has some of that. Yep. Hmm. Right. How easy it is to be in the industry through connections and not through actual talent. Uh, yeah, he wasn't expecting this level of, like, you know, help, right? Hmm. Hey, I love that we. Man, this place is gloomy. Aqua's gonna come in and bring the sunshine, right? Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. Seems like a hellish production currently. Who this? Spot the main characters. Ooh. Ignorance. Yeah. Also, the fact that Aqua is playing a stalker, right? As I said, like, could this bring out past trauma from him? Mm, the producer? I don't think it's him. Like, it's too early to immediately have. But again, like, we need more info, right? Hmm. Yeah. Interesting. A role that anybody can play. Anybody can be this person, right? An underappreciated work. Yeah. I love that we are having this conversation, though. Ooh. Yeah, he has more impact than he realizes, right? For some people. She looks up to you. I like that. Huh. There's the truth behind the lie. Yeah. Man, these episodes fly by really fast. All right. Okay, so that was Oshinoko episodes 2 and 3. I'm going to say my thoughts on something which I talked about in episode 2. And I'm probably only going to be talking about this once throughout my entire discussions for this season of Oshinoko. Maybe after the season is over, I'm going to talk about it again. It's not really a criticism. Don't get me wrong, okay? What I'm about to say isn't technically a criticism. It's just something that I am observing and I am questioning of, right? Because at this point, I still don't know where the story is gonna go with it, and that is, of course, the reincarnation aspect of the story, and how much it is actually justified or necessary throughout the entire show. And what I mean is, a part of me feels like, does the show really or the story change at all because they are reincarnated? Like, if let's say they are not reincarnated people and they're just normal, very talented children that I Hoshino happen to have, and then we still follow the same plot beat of the story where they grow up, they become very talented, and then they witnessed their mother's death, and then they want to, continue her legacy, while at the same time, especially for Aqua, wanting to figure out like who their murderer is or who their father is. It doesn't really change the story that much, at least for the time being, from what I've seen. And given that we've 3 episodes in, well, more than 3, considering the first episode is like over an hour and 20 minutes long, I just don't feel that there is any weight to the aspect of the reincarnation thing. And I know some people will be defending Ruby's situation, which I will get to, but ultimately my current feelings is I need more. I need the story to explore more of that aspect, because currently, as of right now, 3 episodes in, my feelings of the whole reincarnation aspect is that it's just a gimmick, and had they be normal people, the story could still find a way to give them both the motivation that they had without having them be, characters who were reincarnated. And in regards to like Ruby's character, because I am sure people will be saying about like, oh yeah, Ruby's character, she had a pretty bad life in the beginning, right? And her health issues and her inability to do the things that she wants to do, right, is the emotional aspect and like the crux or the motivation for her new life, because she was given a second chance. Also the fact that in her time, in her treatment, watching Ai Hoshino's like idol performances and stuff is the like positive motivation that she is receiving, and that's why she looks up to her the most, right? But for me, while yes, that is a great argument, but at the same time, I feel like you can still do that while she's normal, I suppose? Like, you can still have a character be, let's say, born with a health issue or a health disability, and she's working throughout her youth trying to overcome this issue, hypothetically speaking, right? If this is like the angle that we're going for, if she is not reincarnated, right? She can still have an issue where she had health problems in the past, and she can still look up to her mother, right? Due to her resilience, her struggles as both a mother and a idol performer, right? She can still look up to her, and we can still come to the same conclusive character that we meet currently in the present, of a character who had a pretty rough beginning in her youth, and she still looks up to her mother and still have the same motivation to, pursue a career just like her mother, as to, to continue on her legacy, right? To respect that legacy. Like, to me, you can still have that without the reincarnation aspect, so that's why I'm still questioning, like, the importance or the significance of it. Again, just from the first 3 episodes alone, I would love for the story to actually continue this aspect. If it does, explore it a bit more, like have the, have some consequences and stuff like that, like just explore this theme and idea more to, so that it can be justified in the story, because currently I just don't really see how it is, except for, making the characters realize, that they are smarter than they are in the past. But like, ultimately, I feel like you can still have the same premise, right? The premise of the show being that this character, Ai Hoshino, giving birth to 2 children, and she got murdered, and then now her 2 children is trying to continue on her legacy while also finding justice in her death. Like, that's the premise of the show. Like, if you take out the reincarnation aspect, I don't think it would change at all. Like, you can still have the same show without it. So I'm still kind of questioning, like, if it's really necessary, or if it's just a gimmick to draw people in. Like, oh, this is interesting, but then it doesn't really explore anything. Which I guess this also comes from the fact that I'm just not really into the reincarnation genre. in anime recently, at least, because most of the time it's again a similar situation of like, oh, this dude got reincarnated into this new life, but ultimately it never really mean anything at all. Like, rarely do I watch a show where the reincarnation aspect play a major role. There are some, but like mostly it's like the same, it's there to establish the premise, the beginning of the show, but then moving forward, we don't really talk about that later. You know what I mean? So I kind of want them to actually talk about this more. And having seen episode 3 and knowing where Aqua is at the moment, right, as a child actor, I'm also kind of asking like, okay, that's great. I love the film aspect of the show, by the way. Like I think I mentioned this during the first episode discussion, but like ultimately I absolutely love that we are not just focusing on the idol stuff. We are actually focusing on like the industry as a whole, right? The showbiz industry of Japan, and not just Japan, but like internationally speaking, right? Because this isn't just inherently a problem in Japan. This is a problem in like most countries, right? But like having Aqua be this main, this actor who is into film and stuff, while admirable, and again kind of following this a similar route that her mother had, right? If we're talking about the theme of lying and telling the truth, because actors always tell a lie, right? It's all an act. But he used to be a doctor. Like when does the doctor aspect come into play? You know what I mean? Like that. Like it's one of those questions where I'm fine with the story as it is. Like if they don't really tap into that aspect, like okay, but at the same time you kind of hinted at it, or not really hinted, you actually explored it a bit in the first episode, and I'm kind of expecting the show to kind of explore it more in the future. So that's my hope for the future of the for the show, at least, to kind of explore more of this aspect, kind of explore more of the character's past and make it more important and worthwhile and having weight, because currently I just don't feel that weight, because I'm just feeling that these characters don't necessarily need to be characters who got reincarnated, because I feel like you can still have the same premise without it, and thus far I don't see it affecting the story or my enjoyment or my attachment to these characters at all. So that's like my main, again, not criticism, but more like my main question going into the show and expecting what it will do in the future. But I'm curious to see, like, to hear like what you guys think about this. If you're a manga reader and this is like a main plot point, and don't really give any hints, please. Like I want to be spoiler free as much as I can. Because again, like I mentioned during my first episode reaction, I do know the premise of the show, right? And that's why going into the first episode reaction, I wasn't entirely blind, because I kind of know that they're gonna get reincarnated and she's gonna have children and she's an idol. Her death is something that I do not know, and I'm still kind of taken aback by it. But like, I am currently just venturing into this story blind. Like I have no idea where the story is going. I have an idea of where the story is going now because of the plot points and the actions that these characters are currently doing. And so far, I'm kind of enjoying what they're going for. Having these two characters, Ruby and Aqua, going to two very separate routes in their lives, but they are all inherently connected to their mother, right? Ruby wanting to continue on her mother's legacy and becoming an idol herself, and realizing like the hurdle and the struggle of it, and while also still keeping that optimism, I find to be charming. I find to be very I would say uplifting. But it is also the fact that she is smiling and seemingly happy. That's the part that I'm worried about, because as we all know, there is something behind that, behind every smile, right? There's a lie behind the truth. There, deep down, both of these characters must be feeling something, right? And especially with Aqua, in the third episode where she ironically plays a stalker character, right? I was asking like, is this gonna put any trauma again in his character, right? Currently he's doing a pretty good job at like concealing that at all if he is feeling that, right? He still is keeping up this act of like, being stronger than he is, right? I'm just waiting for that moment where he's actually going to break down, because currently he's putting on a tough guy act, like emotionless. I don't feel anything. Like my mom's deaf. Like who cares about that? Like I just want to know who my father is, and I want to give him like a like the peace that he deserves and whatnot. Stuff like that. Like we know deep down he feels level of trauma and anguish, which again, like the traumatic experience of having their mother's death, as the motivation for them to pursue their journey in the industry that their mother was, as if thinking that nothing's gonna change, right? That's like the part that is like scaring me a bit. I think Aqua will be fine throughout the entire story, considering I feel like out of the two, he is the one who has like the most prominent presence so far, at least in terms of like keeping the story forward. But I'm sure like a couple of episodes later, we're probably going to be shifting our focus to Ruby and her side of things, right? But yeah, I think Aqua will probably be fine for now, but I am more worried about Ruby, considering again, because she is working on the idol industry, the same industry where her mom used to work, like kind of questioning like, does she not feel anything? Obviously she does. She's also hiding it. I feel like, like that is the point, right? That is why they are looking up to their mother, right? Because of how she is able to conceal her true feelings and keeping up appearances. It is admirable, but at the same time, it's also very dangerous, considering, people expect you to be telling the truth, and once they realize that you've been telling a lie your entire life, then they would feel betrayed, and they would feel hurt, and look what happened, right? So yeah, one thing that I also want to talk about, and I think this will be interesting to see like where the story is gonna go in this aspect, it's the nature of revenge, right? Especially for Aqua, this is his main motivation, right? To get revenge, right? To find out who is the one who gave the information about him, her, Ruby, and their mother, right? That is like his main current objective, right? It's to get revenge, find out who their father is, and give him hell, right? What I'm questioning, and what I am wanting for the story to explore about, is of course, the matter of the cycle of violence and the cycle of revenge. I know that's kind of I would say, at this point, a trope that has been done a lot. I know some people may feel tired of it, because at the same, it's always the same thing, right? We're gonna go for revenge, cycle of revenge, bad, and then at the end it's like, is it really worth it or not? So I'm kind of curious to see like where Oshinoko is gonna go in this angle. You know what I mean? Like what are they gonna do with this? How are they gonna handle it? How is Aqua's personal vengeance and his for his own personal gain as well, like how are they gonna explore that idea, and how is it going to affect his character? You know what I mean? And that's going into like the psychological aspect of the show that I'm also curious to see about, right? Because again, these two characters probably had one of the most traumatic experiences in their entire lives as as children, right? That has a lot of psychological implications, right, for their character and their psyche and whatnot. So I am curious to see like where the story is gonna go for that, especially for Aqua, because while I think Ruby again has a pretty admirable goal and dream to to continue sorry, not her, but to continue the legacy of her mother, right? And the psychological aspect of being in the same industry that ultimately led to her mother's death, and knowing like how scummy and just dirty the industry is. Like I want to see that aspect from Ruby. But when it comes to Aqua, I feel like that's where the meat of things is, because he is the one who wants, who wants violence. He is the one who wants to get to the bottom of it. He is the detective, right? He is the one who has probably the most resentment out of the two so far. I'm sure like they probably have a similar resentment towards their father and potential perpetrator of of the murder of their mother's death, right? Trying to find out who it is. But ultimately Aqua is the one who is currently taking the action towards that, right? And I want to see the story explore that more. I think it could be interesting, right? I think it is. It could. It has like the potential is there, and I am hoping that the potential can be met. So there's a lot of hopes. There's a lot of high hopes for this show to be good. I think the premise, except for the reincarnation thing, which again I'm still questioning about for now, right? Obviously it can change in the future, right, depending on how the story's gonna handle it. But at least in terms of like the premise of having children, your children trying to continue your legacy while also trying to find or seek justice to your death, right, to their mother's death, I think is a very interesting premise enough for me to be hooked in on the show and trying to see like where they're gonna go across these two branches. But so far we haven't been focusing a lot on Ruby's side of things, and I'm thinking we're probably going to be focusing on her in the next couple of episodes, because these 2 episodes we've been focusing a lot on Aqua and his side of things. I do love that he is still working with the director. I kind of love that the director is actually living with his mom, and then he has all of the the movie posters and stuff, like as if he's like a movie film geek or whatever. I mean he is, but it's the fact that he's still probably in his late 40s, still living with his mom, and the mom coming in and just ruining all of those really heartfelt moments of like inspirational messages and stuff. Part of it I do find charming. So far, I guess I will say it as well, considering this is from the same author of Kaguya-sama. I will say that some of the comedy in the show has been pretty solid. I don't think it is as funny as Kaguya, but given the subject matter, I don't think he's trying to be as funny, right? This is a way more serious story. It's targeted to, a more mature audience, that's for sure. But sometimes I do find that some of the comedy kind of clashes a bit with the dark tone of the story. Like once or twice it was good, it was fine. I kind of jiggled and or giggled and laughed, but other times I'm like, you're kind of stretching it out a bit, but ultimately it's perfectly fine. I think so far Oshi no Ko has been a pretty solid show, and I cannot wait to watch more. So I'm gonna be doing episodes 4 and 5 next week, so I'm probably gonna be catching up to the latest release on YouTube by then. So hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to Oshi no Ko and my discussion as well. If you do, drop the like, and I will see you all next time. Take care, have a nice day, peace.